Welcome to another episode of the One-on-One podcast. My name is Josh. I am here in Laguna Niguel, California at our hub headquarters. I am joined by Ryan, who's here with me in person, and then Kathy Baker, who is joining us from her lovely home, even though it looks like she's at the hub right now. So I want to ask you two a question before we introduce our our guest for today. So it's been on my mind for a while, and it's important. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Kathy?
No, it's not a sandwich. A sandwich has two pieces of bread that are not connected.
Oh, okay. See, so that's like the key point here is if it's connected, but once that bun breaks.
You stole the words out of my mouth. So then is it considered a sandwich at that point? Like, what if the bun breaks and then I hold it horizontally and I eat it? Like,
I throw it away and get a new bun is what I do.
Ryan, what do you think?
It's funny because I had asked, there was one of those like old posts a long time ago on like the Chargers like social media, and it was like the players reading questions from people. And I actually asked this to like one of the players, and like I agreed with him. Like he said, it is a sandwich because it's two, regardless of like the connection, it's still two pieces of bread with some type of meat or filling like inside. But then the question came up after that was like, does the meat also make a difference? Because we've talked about before about like ice cream sandwiches.
That's a great point.
So it's like, I think it is.
And to Kathy's point, if it's one piece of bread that's connected, I promise we're going to get into real estate stuff in a second. But if it's one piece of bread that's connected, couldn't you make the argument then that a burrito's a sandwich?
Like, is a taco a sandwich?
See? All right, let's just get into it.
Okay, but let me just tell you, to solve all of this, just buy the split top bun.
Yeah. Always words of wisdom from Kathy. Well, I'm excited today, Kathy. We have someone that you know very well. She's one of our broker owners. Nydia Pino, who's our broker owner from Realty ONE Group Innovation, is joining us. She's here to talk about lead gen, which I know you are an expert in, Nydia. So thank you for joining us. Maybe give us a little bit about your background with Realty ONE Group and just real estate in general.
I've been in real estate for 24 years, been a broker for 22. So I've seen all the cycles, and I've been with Realty ONE Group 6 years.
Oh, wow.
We have 2 offices and growing. So love the brand, love Realty ONE Group, love my family here and the culture and everything it has to offer. So
yeah. So it sounds like actually, Kathy, the 3 of us have been with Realty ONE Group for about the same amount of time, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Nydia and I started within weeks of each other.
Okay.
Just in that time. And she's so modest. She's a great mom, great wife, amazing recruiter, and one of the best business owners in our network. And I say that because, and one reason I wanted to talk to her today about lead gen, Josh and Ryan, is not only does she do lead gen well as far as conversion and that type thing, but understands the ROI on it.
Yeah.
So, just this woman is extraordinary. Just excited to have her on the, and she's a friend, which is great. So I'm excited to have her on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Let's just jump right in. So Kathy said before we started recording, and she just briefly mentioned it too, that I think that a lot of agents and business owners, they think that, or they know that lead gen is a part of the business, but they don't know how to properly use it. And so they're spending money without actually getting anything in return. So can you maybe give some best practices, what to look for in a platform, that sort of thing?
Yeah. I think the most important thing is to choose a platform that has a proven track record, right? That platform also, is a true partner and is vested in your success. I think that's really important because leads you can get anywhere. It's really about the relationship, the integration with your CRM, the tools that they offer, and the coaching and training, because, every platform has a different system that they use. And the training is really, really important, because why reinvent the wheel if they've already have a proven track record of things that work for you?
Totally.
It's just creating that system for the agents to really follow and, close the deals.
What have you seen? What's worked for you that you've seen over the last 22 years?
I think some of the biggest platforms, the common ones, realtor.com, Zillow, so on, those have all really worked well. But really it's about implementing the structure for the agent with regards, the answer rate, having your script ready to answer that call, and, just focused on making that appointment, because each conversation is an opportunity. So you want to really be prepared for that opportunity and, make that appointment so that you can gain that customer, that client.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kathy.
So it's relationship. And I think that's key. I love hearing you saying that, because I think a lot of people think I'm going to buy leads. And Josh, you and Ryan and I always take it back to sports, and it's kind of like having a lot of hits but never crossing home base. And I think a lot of realtors, a lot of professionals look at, I'm going to get all these leads, and what they don't calculate is conversion. Do you agree with that, Nydia? And it's not how many leads you get. It's, are they good leads? Are they convertible? That's a car, right? No, but are they able to be converted and bring it home? And I think that has to do with follow-up. I think that has to do with a lot of the things that you're talking about that are best practices.
No, definitely. I mean, you want to have, you want to set the goals for sure. Basically it takes 120 days to really convert a lead into a client, close sale. So it's really about having that system in place to, nurture the lead, follow up with that lead, engaging them with different content, based on, what they're searching, based on their needs, because everybody has different needs. And it really establishing their communication level, like what's their best way of communication?
Yeah.
Is it phone calls? Is it text messages? Because each generation is different too. So each client is different. So those are, I think, key points that, everybody has to understand. And that's part of the relationship building.
Well, when you talk about, I'm sorry, Josh.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Well, when you talk about conversion, and I love what you're saying, that you really customize each of the leads. And do you have a checklist that you use, or is that part of the coaching? And how important is that coaching with the platform?
It's part of the coaching. It's really a system. You're really moving them through the funnel, right? So you're having that initial conversation. You're setting up that appointment. You're meeting them in person. Then you're establishing, showing them homes, right? Because now you've established their likes and dislikes. And then you have, explaining the whole process. And now more than ever, we're doing buyer presentations, just like a listing presentation. So working with buyers and having them understand that process is really, really important. But it's all about moving them through the funnel, starting at the beginning and closing them, right? Submitting the offer, closing, and then asking for referrals after, because I think sometimes we forget that. And we have a proven track record of closing multiple deals and referrals from just one lead platform.
Mm-hmm.
What's your conversion rate?
Right now we are at about 12%.
Oh, that's extremely high. That's probably 4 or 5 times national average, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. We're and all these systems have worked. Like, for the agents, we hold them accountable. So we do a pipeline review every week. Okay, what's in your pipeline? You always want to add people to your pipeline. And the most important part is using your CRM and categorizing your clients. Like, you have the ones that are looking now. You have the ones that are looking in 6 months. You have the ones that are looking in a year. Mm-hmm. So you really want to prioritize your time and work smart and use the system. I think that's the biggest thing that people don't do is use the system or carve out that time to follow up.
Okay.
So this might be a question that might be difficult to answer because I'm sure it's, different for each market. And like you said, each client, but what are like a realistic expectation for success?
I think it really has to do with the following up.
Yeah. And I think I was almost trying to get to like that answer. So like, what are then some best practices for following up?
Really having a good drip campaign set up in your CRM, communicating with your client, taking notes, checking in. Like sometimes our agents forget to check in with their client because things change all the time.
Right.
Even if I'm not ready to list for 6 months, all of a sudden a job change or an offer, or they need to downsize. So always having those touches every week, I think is really important, and having that system in place to, check in with those clients, at least weekly for sure.
Yeah. I love what you said about how you are like, you hold your agents accountable because it's, we all have those moments regardless of what we do, where you wake up on a Tuesday or Wednesday morning and maybe you don't have a meeting on the schedule or you don't have anything due or whatever. And so it can feel like you don't feel like you have any momentum or motivation, but with those, constantly making sure that you are checking in with your client and following up with whatever needs to be done. It's like, Kathy, to your point, we always say like as a real estate professional, educating yourself needs to be part of your weekly routine. And I love that you have made this part of your agent's just weekly routine.
The big aha moment, I hope, for a lot of our listeners, and it kind of is for me, Nydia, so thank you for this messaging. The aha moment for me is I think a lot of people look at purchasing leads as mechanical, and it's relationship. What you're bringing home to me is you may acquire that lead through a platform, but the moment you capture that lead, it has to become relationship. And I wonder if that's a big part of your secret sauce, is that regardless of where the lead comes from, you're giving it that care that you give a personal lead, a personal sphere of influence immediately. And that really sets you apart.
No, definitely. I mean, showing your value as a real estate professional is important. And if you're not showing your value and your knowledge of the market, and really tapping in and showing them that you have the resources and the network to get them where they need to be. And it's just about, listening, building that relationship and finding out what their goal is. Like, is it, a short-term investment? Is it just, something long-term, if it's, they want to buy and hold a property, or if they want to flip a property, it's finding out what it is that they want to do. Right. And really listening. I think that's some of the stuff that we forget, is to really listen to that client on what they're looking for. Sometimes you get fixated on a number, and it's not that purchase price number. It's their needs, their wants,
I think there's also,
and I hear,
go ahead. Sorry. I'm sorry, Kathy. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I hear the gift of discernment. I hear to be very discerning, to determine, is a person scratching and sniffing, right? Especially your market in Florida, because everybody wants to be in Florida. Are they scratching and sniffing, or is this really legit? Is this a legitimate lead that I need to invest in?
Exactly.
I also think that you have a natural ability to want to help people. I mean, you said you have been in the industry for 24 years, and 22 of those years you've been a broker, right? And so at 2 years in, you were already helping other agents. And so I think I can see just from our 15 minutes of chatting, it's naturally in you to want to be that helping hand. And I think that is a recipe for success in this industry, regardless of the market.
No, definitely. And that's one of the things that, I think has made us successful, is that, we have a good support system for our agents. Even with all these lead gen platforms that we have, we have somebody that they can go to ask questions. We have somebody that is always present to, present an offer in a way that it's going to get accepted.
Yeah.
Those are all key points that are really important because, in this market, it's a competitive market. So you have to, get creative, shorten your loan approval periods, partner up with lenders that can do that and offer solutions and best practices to the agents so that they can win those offers.
Yeah. I want to ask, have your lead gen practices changed in the last 6 months to a year, just with everything shifting in the industry?
Yeah, we started a year ago using showing agreements and teaching on buyer broker agreements because we were seeing a lot of procuring cause issues and so on. So we started with a buyer guide and having those showing agreements implemented over a year ago.
Got it. And we've been asking a lot of our guests that we've had on, in the last couple weeks to a month, what do you see for the near future, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years from now, with the NAR settlement? Like, how do you see your business changing? Do you see opportunity? Are you scared? Are you excited?
I'm excited. I think it's actually in Florida, it's going to clean up our market a little bit. The part-time agents aren't going to be there. This has always been a full-time job.
Yeah.
I think it's really, pushing our agents to be more professional, to show their value, and to really win those clients because, you have to be prepared to show your knowledge, your value, your network, and you want people to think of you as that real estate professional. Anytime they think about real estate, they're going to oh, Nydia knows this. Nydia knows that person. You want them to think about that. So I'm not scared. We've been preparing our agents for a while now. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see more people in the office because I think, having these buyer presentations and having to sign these buyer broker agreements, people are going to want to come to the office.
I agree.
They're going to want that this person has an office. They're not going to go sign a buyer broker agreement at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
They're going to know where this agent works. So I think I'm really excited about, that opportunity.
Don't you love, Kathy, that, so many people that we've spoken to in our network in, the last couple weeks, couple months, there's really no fear in any of them, right? I mean, it's intoxicating.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'll have to tell you both, in Level Up and writing the content for Level Up, we named the lead gen module. We used the unwords for all the modules, and the lead gen we named unavoidable. Because so many people are like, oh, I don't want to lead gen. Oh, this is the hardest part. And I'm just so very grateful, Nydia, for you opening the eyes of so many people to embrace the unavoidable in lead gen as far as paid leads. Because, man, 12%, that's awesome. And for you to look at it and have accountability around it, and for you to put your foot on the gas on that conversion rate is exceptional. Yeah. So thank you for being an industry leader and for making us look so good.
I agree.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the support. I think, Realty ONE Group and the platform, Kathy, Mark, you guys have all, really pushed us to use our tools, our technology, and, to be great leaders.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we like our hot dog all the way.
Yeah.
So we want everything on it that we can get on it.
So Nydia, before we let you go, is a hot dog a sandwich?
I think it's a sandwich. We're going to have to
debate this off camera.
I would go with a sandwich because, like a Philly cheesesteak, that's a sandwich.
That's a good one too.
You might have just won me over.
Yeah, that's because you're right.
It's true. Fun is connected.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Nydia. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for everything that you do every day at your offices. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
See how good she is at conversion? She converted me from it being not a sandwich to a sandwich. There you go.
Let's just cut it right there. Thank you again, Nydia.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, you too. We thank you for joining us today on another episode of One on One, a Realty ONE Group podcast. We are powered by One.U and ask if you have suggestions, recommendations, or questions, please email learning@realtyonegroup.com. And remember, pay close attention to the details, listen to understand, not respond, and always be a resource, not a sales pitch.